While AIs become better than us with words, at least for now, we have zero evidence that AIs can feel anything. Of course, because AI is mastering language, AI can pretend to feel pain or love. AI can say, I love you. And if you challenge it to describe how love feels, AI can provide the best verbal description in the world. AI can read countless love poems and psychology books and can then describe the feeling of love much better than any human poet, psychologist, or lover. But these are just words. The Bible says, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was made flesh. The Tao Te Ching says, the truth that can be expressed in words is not the absolute truth. Throughout history, people have always struggled with the tension between word and flesh, between the truth that can be expressed in words and the absolute truth, which is beyond words. Previously, this tension was internal to humanity. It was between different human groups. Some humans gave supreme importance to words. They have been willing, for example, to abandon or even kill their gay son just because of a few words in the Bible. Other humans have said, but these are just words. The spirit of love should be much more important than the letter of the law. This tension between spirit and letter existed in every religion, every legal system, even every person. Now, this tension will be externalized. It will become the tension not between different humans, this will be the tension between humans and AIs, the new masters of words.
First and foremost, I want to give all of the praises and the glory to the Most High and His Son, Yahweh B'Shem Shai B'Shem Rakah Gwadash, and double honors to the other apostles of the great millstone that have taught us this truth, and to include the other bishops on down, and salutes to all of the Akim worldwide. And this your brother Laban coming at you with another video. And let's get right into it. World Economic Forum chief declares AI will usurp God's throne and rule humanity. Senior World Economic Forum advisor Yuval Harari has proclaimed that AI is posed to seize control of humanity's most sacred institutions, including religion itself. Harari, speaking to an elite audience of global leaders and influencers, warned that AI's mastery over language will fundamentally upend book-based faiths, effectively dethroning traditional religious authority. AI will take over religion, Harari declared. This is particularly true of religions based on books like Islam, Christianity, and Judaism, he added, painting a dystopian future where machines become the ultimate interpreters of holy scriptures. And so they want to use AI just so that they can redefine all of creation itself. That's the words that I'm going to use. So, if yes, religion is a very strong place to start. And so while and after they've redefined everything that surrounds us and including what we believe, then now they can become gods. Because a lot of these people are rich, man. They're multi-billionaires and everything. And overall, Esau hasn't seen or bared witness to a world of hurt. So that's why, another reason as to why they feel this way. But the Lord is going to show them soon something different. 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 1. Now we beseech you, brethren, by the coming of our Lord, Yahweh Shai the Anointed, and by our gathering together unto him, that ye be not soon shaken in mind, or be troubled neither by spirit, nor by word, nor by letter as from us, as that the day of the Anointed is at hand. let no man deceive you by any means. For that day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition. So the falling away, as well as what we know, which was 70 AD, which was involving the Israelites being, put out of their misery, and so that the place was just brought down to a rubble, okay, which they sent the military powers of their own to destroy Jerusalem. And that was the falling away first. And we fell away from what we've known as to who we were, and all of the records and everything went. All right. Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called the Most High power, all that is worshipped, so that he is as the Most High sitteth in the temple of the Most High, showing himself that he is the Most High. And that's the absolute truth accordingly to what we just read here in this article. Again, this is the mind of the elite. They believe that they can transcend above the laws of physics, above nature, and so that they can redefine it. And that's what they want to do. And therefore, they become the gods instead. And that's only with this illusion of grandeur, which pride begets that. Daniel 7 and verse 25, and he shall speak great words against the Most High, which is blasphemies, and shall wear out the saints of the Most High, and to think to change times and laws, and they shall be given into his hand until a time and the times and the dividing of times. So only for a portion of time they're going to be allowed to do these things. And they've changed times and laws. They've changed the calendar, and as well as they've also did away with the laws and the statutes and the commandments of the Israelites and established their own judicial laws. All right. But what Esau wants to do with their great deal of pride is they want to change up everything that the Lord have already created. Jeremiah 49 and verse 16, concerning the point of pride again, thy terribleness have deceived thee, and the pride of thine heart, O thou that dwellest in the clefts of the rocks, that holdest the height of the hill, though thou shouldest make thy nest as high as the eagle, I will bring thee down from thence, save the Lord Yahweh. Also Edom shall be a desolation, and every one that goeth by it shall be astonished and shall hiss at all the plagues thereof. Right. So that's going to be the end result of this great deal of pride that Esau has in their heart. And this is something that the Lord is deceiving Esau with, pride. Now, remember when you go back into the story of the book of Exodus, when the Pharaoh wanted to let the people go, but then he didn't want them to be let loose from off him, right? That was the Most High playing with him, toying with him. So the same thing is being had to a degree with these elites, these devils. All right? The Most High is inflaming their pride, and by that he's deceiving them, as well as this is written, with him is strength and wisdom, the deceived and the deceive are his. So I want to go all the way up, and I want to read from verse 13 all the way down to verse 21, and you'll see the reason why I do this later on. With him is wisdom and strength, and he hath counseled and understanding. Behold, he breaketh down, and he cannot be built again. He shutteth up a man, and there can be no opening. Behold, he withholdeth the waters, and they dry up, and also he sendeth them out, and they overturn the earth. Once again, with him is strength and wisdom, and the deceived and the deceive are his. So if with the Lord is strength and power and wisdom, then as it is written, the Lord giveth and taketh away. So if he gives men strength and wisdom, then guess what? Men can end up losing their power and losing their minds the same way. And just to think of it too, to rule a kingdom, you have to have some deal of wisdom. You can't be a jackass. You can't be someone that is ignorant of a lot. You have to have some wisdom to do that. All right. So when one loses their wisdom, they become fools. As this is written, he leadeth counselors away spoiled, and maketh the judges fools. He looseth the bond of the kings, and girdeth their loins with a girdle. He leadeth princes away spoiled, and overthroweth the mighty. He removeth away the speech of the trustee, and taketh away the understanding of the age. So a trustee is someone you hold in high regard to trust. All right. And your leader, your king could be considered the trustee. All right. Or a prince, someone that's in high regard of the people, that the people trust in. So when we look at Donald Trump here, what I typed in on AI, Donald Trump's speech babble. So this is what it gives me over here. Donald Trump's speaking style has frequently been characterized by critics and linguists as babbling or rambling, a trait that has become more pronounced in his 2025 and early 2026 public appearance. Trump defends this non-linear approach as the weave, claiming it is a brilliant oratorical strategy where he intentionally digresses into various stories or tidbits before returning to his main point. So here go the videos titled here. And this is the one that got me. Speak at a 4th grade level. Trump's rambling speeches. So the Most High is bringing them down mentally, man, and spiritually, which includes this system being brought down with it. You know, so, excuse me, with them. So speaking of the Most High bringing them down mentally and spiritually, let's take a look at the CEO of Palantir, how he's moving around in his chair. And we're going to begin by not reading. We're going to begin by watching, what is it? 2 minutes heading into 3 minutes in. Let's begin right here. Look at this.
But rather by its superiority in applying organized violence. What do you mean by that? And is that what Palantir ultimately does?
Well, I think one of the most interesting about the quote, that quote is it's indisputably and obviously true.
And you genuinely believe that the U.S., this idea of ideas, values, religion has nothing to do with it? You think it really is about organizing violence?
No. Sorry, I didn't say that our ideas aren't important. Obviously, I come from an academic family, and I was planning to be an academic before I realized it was worthless and I'd be better at building things. But
we should talk about that too.
But like, okay, one of the biggest problems we have in our elite institutions, especially our Ivy Leagues, is this.
Now look how he sits down and look at his posture. Something's going on with this individual. He got to be on some coke or something. And you know what I want to do is, well, I want to move it to 6 minutes and 30 seconds in. It gets even worse. Check this out. Matter of fact, let's stop with 6 minutes.
Imposing values on other people. I never believed we should or try to make the Arab Middle East, Wilsonian people, like a Wilsonian ideal imposed upon them. If you believe for a second that anyone else outside this country
these guys
believes
bugging,
that we are
man.
going to defend our values without superiority and moral violence, you're just living in a world that doesn't exist. It does not exist, and no matter how much you try to impose it on the rest of us, it still won't exist.
Okay, I want to talk about you for a second and your own politics and your shift in politics. By the way, there's a piece in the Washington Post about you this morning that gets into some of this. You grew up
Only because I have great respect for you. I don't interrupt you immediately. I didn't shift.
He's even cutting him off, man. He just said, I have a great deal of respect for you, but he just cut him off.
Politics. The political parties have shifted their politics. The idea that what's being called progressive,
He can't even sit in his seat. Like, what's going on with this guy, man?
I've been progressive since the beginning of Palantir. I'm continuing to be progressive. I grew up in a
Like, who sits like that? Never in my amount of years of being alive, and I'm still a young man. I'm in my mid-30s. I've never seen people like him wearing three-piece suits and all that with ties on them, go on the air, whether they be on the news or whether you're president and you're prime minister. Just be, so undiplomatic and just wild with their approach. You got DJ Trump using words like bullshit, and this guy, he uses the same word. Like, these dudes are speaking like commoners, man. Here it is. They're supposed to be who the commoners look up to, but yet they're acting like the same people they're supposed to be ruling over. You know what I'm saying? And yet, these are going to be the guys that are going to be your gods with AI. Come on, man.
Intellectual, mostly Jewish, incredibly left-wing environment. And every Saturday and every Friday, I heard a lecture about how the conservatives are going to destroy this country with illegal immigration because it's going to undermine the fabric of the American worker. That was 50 years ago. That's what it means to be a progressive. Being progressive doesn't mean just, it feels so good to be involved in dysfunction, things that can never work, a form of socialism that's never worked, having no meritocracy. That's not progressive. That's honestly cowardly. And most people half my old party knows it. They don't speak up. It's bullshit. It won't.
See, that explains it right there. People like this in times past never acted like that, man. He never spoke the way he spoke, and as well as DJ Trump. So that's really what it's all about. I mean, Job, the 12th chapter, puts it plainly, what's being had with these individuals. And it just goes to show you that the Most High is taking away their power bit by bit. All right? Because once you lose your mind, you're going to lose everything now. It's all downhill from there. And we have to also include this as well. This is Wisdom of Solomon 17 and verse 3. Verse 1 sounds even better. For great are thy judgments and cannot be expressed. Therefore, unnurtured souls have erred. For when unrighteous men thought to oppress the holy nation, they being shut up in their houses, prisoners, the prisoners of darkness, and fettered with bonds of a long night, laid the exiled from the eternal providence. For while they supposed to lie hid in their secret sins, they were scattered under a dark veil of forgetfulness, being horribly astonished and troubled with strange apparitions. For neither might the corner that held them keep them from fear, but noises as of waters falling down sounded about them, and sad visions appeared unto them with heavy countenance. No power of the fire might give them light, neither could the bright flames of the stars endure to lighten that horrible night. Only there appeared unto them a fire kindled of itself, very dreadful, for being much terrified, and they thought the things which they saw to be worse than the sight they saw not. So these people are bugging. The Most High got these people jacked up mentally. And sometimes when you look at your politicians and those that are proclaiming to be your elites, they look troubled in the mind, because I guess they know what they're going to have to do and all the visions that they're receiving, or it could just be a combination of everything. Okay, especially that individual such as Nathan Rothschild, man. That guy looks like he's on coke as well. All right. The spirit of error is just flowing through them now, which is from the Greek word planane, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. Let's play this.
Strong's G 4106, plane.
Yeah, so here's the word error. And just to fit this in with the topic, right, with the video that I showed you as well, I want to read this over here. Error which shows itself in action, a wrong mode of acting, right? So they're supposed to act in a particular way, like they know what they're talking about. But meanwhile, this guy is jumping on his seat like he's a child in a primary school, can't even stay in his seat because he got anxiety, can't hold it together, and he's cutting the man off, and he can barely even formulate his sentence properly. And yet this man is worth what? 15.4 billion. He's the CEO of Palantir. Once again, these are going to be the niggas that's going to be your gods with AI. This guy can't even be a god over his own body to relax himself and chill out and sit on that seat properly. But yet he wants to, but yet he's going to be the one to rule over your ass with AI while you're being sea-hipped. Jackasses like Elon Musk and the likes. All right. So that's just the thing, man. And they know they ain't that bright. They know that basically, you know, they're projected as such, and they know that they're a bunch of frauds, man. You know, without being disrespectful, it sounds disrespectful, but that's just what it is. All right. The point of the matter of this video is to showcase that what we've been saying all along is not going to fall into fruition. And that is that new world order system that they have in mind. They're already losing their damn minds already. All right. Daniel 4 And this right here even tells you everything you need to know, how the Most High can set you up on high. And I believe he's referring to Belshazzar or Nebuchadnezzar. So now let's read this. Matter of fact, let me see if I can. Yeah, it's Belshazzar. So this is Daniel's 4:19. We'll begin reading this verse over here. Then Daniel, whose name was Belshazzar. Oh, okay, right. Then Daniel, whose name, that's his name. Okay, cool. That was his Babylonian name. Was astounded for 1 hour, and his thoughts troubled him. The king spake and said, Belshazzar, let not the dream or the interpretation thereof trouble thee. Belshazzar answered and said, my lord, the dream be to them that hate thee, and the interpretation thereof to thine enemies. The tree that thou sawest, which grew and was strong, whose height reacheth unto heaven, and the sight thereof to all of the earth, whose leaves were fair, and the fruits thereof much, and in it was meat for all, and under which the beasts of the field dwelt, and upon whose branches the fowls of heaven had their habitation. Exactly. Which all of that represented the heathen, the nations. All right. The beasts of the field, the fowls of the heaven represented the heathen that he ruled over. It is thou, O king, that thou art grown and become strong. For thy greatness is grown and reacheth unto heaven, and thy dominion to the ends of the earth. And whereas the king saw a watcher and an holy one coming down from heaven, saying, hew the tree down and destroy it, yet leave the stump of the root thereof in the earth, even with a band of iron and brass, in the tender grass of the field, and let it be wet with the dew of heaven, and let his portion with the beasts of the field till 7 times pass over him. And this is the interpretation, O king, and this is the decree of the Most High, which is come upon my lord the king, that they shall drive thee from men, and thy dwelling shall be with beasts of the field, and they shall make thee to eat grass as oxen, and they shall wet thee with the dew of heaven, and 7 times shall pass over thee, until thou know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and giveth it to whomsoever he will. So that's the point. The point is, when you read later down, Nebuchadnezzar, he bugged out, and he thought he was a beast. All right. Verse 33. The same hour was the thing fulfilled upon Nebuchadnezzar, and he was driven from men, and did eat grass as oxen, and his body was wet with the dew of heaven, until his hairs were grown like eagle feathers, and his nails like birds of claw. So this dude bugged out, thought he was a beast, and he actually looked like a bird. All right. He looked like an eagle, to include. So the Most High jacked him up physically and messed him up mentally. So if the Most High can do that to Nebuchadnezzar, then, you know, to a smaller degree, he's doing that to Esau. He's bugging him out bit by bit. And now we understand why and how they're going to make the mistakes they're going to make, according to the book of Job, the 5th chapter, if you know what I'm saying. So that's all I got to say with this. With that, I want to give all of the praise and the glory to the Most High and His Son, Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakah HaKwadash, and double honors to the elder apostles of the great millstone that have taught us this truth. And salute to all of the Akim as well, from the least to the greatest of us all, as we all believe that we're of the hopeful elect. Shalom.